Fala, bebê! Hello, baby!
Que
Não sei se a gente falou certo, mas...
It was okay?
It was very good.
Que dia legal, Lulu!
É isso. Nós estamos aqui entrevistando a princesa do QATAR, uma mulher incrível, que tem muitos feitos na vida e a gente vai mostrar tudo pra vocês, certo?
Eu queria pedir pra ela falar o nome dela pra gente saber a pronúncia certa.
Isso.
My name is Asma, and you spell it as A-S-M-A. My family name is Al Thani, A-L-T-H-A-N-I.
Asma Al Thani.
É isso, mas eu acho que Asma é mais íntimo.
Mais fácil também pra gente falar.
Exato.
Certo. E a gente vai perguntar, gente, ela é assim uma mulher incrível que ama esporte, já escalou o Everest, jogava futebol. Então a gente vai começar perguntando sobre isso.
É isso, exatamente. A gente vai fazer as perguntas em português pra vocês conseguirem acompanhar mais fácil. Você jogava futebol na escola e a gente também sempre jogou, mas é um esporte que não é muito incentivado para que as mulheres joguem durante a infância. Então a gente queria saber se foi isso que te inspirou e por que você começou a jogar futebol.
So, I am the only daughter, the only girl in my family. I have 3 brothers, and all my family, my cousins that were my age were all boys as well. So I used to always play with them in the streets, and we used to have this thing where all the houses within the streets would play together and create the teams and play football. And I grew to love it very, very much. And it was a sport that actually helped me really express myself and express my strength and who I am through movement and through playing with a team. And as I went into school, I played it a bit more professionally, and I just loved it a lot, and trained with the team and became captain of the football team for 3 years. And it's still a sport that's deep in my heart, and I love it very, very much.
Que demais isso, né? Eu achei incrível. Ela jogava bola na rua no QATAR com a molecada.
Não, incrível, Eu queria
massa.
saber se tinham outras meninas que jogavam com ela, assim, desde cedo.
Ela era a única da família dela, né? Mas
isso.
se tinha mais gente. Pergunta também se ela arrancava a tampa do dedo.
If I show you my nails right now, they're already still. But yes, I had a lot other cousins that were girls as well, but they were all younger. The kids that were my age were all boys, and honestly, playing football and watching it was something that my aunt started. She used to gather us around the TV, and whenever there was a football match or the team that she supported, she used to bring us all together and watch the match on TV. But yes, I was the only girl playing with all these boys, and of course my nails were always not in place.
Você, por ser a única mulher e tudo mais, você disse uma vez que gostaria de quebrar uma barreira e fazer com que mulheres pudessem ter cargos esportivos. Você acha que você conseguiu quebrar essa barreira já, ou você acha que está no caminho? Como você sente isso dentro de você?
So for me, it's more about inspiring women to break the boundaries that they set for themselves. And the idea is not just women, but everyone, that if you have a goal that you want to achieve, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, you could always achieve it. It's not going to be easy, and achieving something that is big is never easy. It's always hard, but you just need to start, and you need to start somewhere, smaller steps, and get there. And I think climbing mountains and being where I am today, I have the opportunity to really show this journey through the stories that I tell and through the journeys that I take, be it in mountaineering or in my professional job. And I'm really happy to see a lot of women, a lot of children aspiring to achieve their goals and really putting their foot forward and making it happen.
Nossa, demais.
Muito. Você foi diretora de marketing e comunicação no Mundial de Handball em 2015. E a gente queria saber como foi o processo para chegar até lá, porque é um cargo super importante. Logo depois você assumiu uma função no COI. Então, como é esse processo de uma mulher assumindo um cargo tão importante dentro de um comitê?
I think for me, since I was a child, I wanted to be 2 things. I wanted to either be an artist or to be an athlete or somewhere within sport. So it was always these were the 2 mediums that I found I expressed myself the most. And when I came into handball, it was my first experience within sport. I actually didn't really know the sport, but I knew marketing and I knew branding very, very well. And it was an interesting experience for me because I was able to bring in my experience, but I have a fresh look at the sport and really try to showcase it and have other people within the community experience it. And to be honest, I really think that it was a kickstart for me because I had the support. I had the support of our leaders. I had the support of my team, and we were able to work together to try to achieve things that have never been done before in Qatar and in the sport itself. And for me, it was really. It was that time where I was able to put my foot and really understand who I am in the field of sport. And from then on, it was sport all the way.
Você foi a primeira mulher aqui do Qatar a escalar o Everest, você escalou já um monte de montanha importante. Eu quero saber de onde veio essa vontade e como você acha que isso significa como exemplo mesmo para as meninas daqui e tudo mais.
I wrote, so with mountaineering, it came to me by surprise actually. I wrote a letter to myself when I was at a very young age. And in that letter, I put things that I wanted to achieve for myself. So simple things as simple as driving a car. At that time, no woman really, driving a car was okay, but you didn't see women driving because it was not part of the community. I put driving a car, I remember putting graduating university, having a master's degree, and I put climbing a mountain and seeing the North Pole. Like this was in my list. And I forgot about that list. And in 2014, I was going through a lot of my high school papers and just going over these like memories, and I found the paper. And I looked at it and I'm like, start the job, done. Graduate university, done. Masters, already got one. And then climb a mountain. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And we have a saying where we say the stars aligned. And at that time, right after it, a couple of days later, my cousin Asma Al Thani, who is actually the first Qatari to climb Everest, and he put out a post saying, I want to take Qatari girls and guys to go to climb Mount Kilimanjaro to raise funds to build schools in the Gaza Strip in Palestine. And I was like, okay, this is perfect. So I didn't know how I was going to make it happen, but I knew I wanted to go. So I contacted Muhammad and I wrote to him and I said, I want to be part of your team. What can I do? How can I be a part of this? And honestly, 3 days ago, he was showing me my email that I sent to him in 2013. And
Nice.
I said, if there's no space for me, it's okay. I still want to be part of your cause. And did everything, prepared everything. And I remember going to my father and be like, Papa, I want to climb a mountain. And he was like, climb a mountain.
Why?
What? I said, Baba, it's for a good cause, like it's to raise funds and to build. He says, are you sure like you can do this? I'm like, yeah, I'll try it out. We go to Kilimanjaro, we climb it. We raised at about 2 million riyals to build schools in Gaza at that time. And I just fell in love with the mountains. And at that time I had, I tried it once and it was life-changing for me because I was able to really step out of my comfort zone, really appreciate the comforts that we have, but really understand that once you pass that comfort zone, you're able to achieve things you never thought was possible. You never thought that your body can take you to greater heights. You never know the strength that you have until you're actually put to the test. And the more mountains I climbed, the more I started to really understand what I can do physically, emotionally, and mentally, but also inspire others to do the same. And I had a couple of girls in the gym that I trained and that came to me. I remember telling me, how did you convince your parents? How did your parents say, yes, our community is a bit hard? Because mountaineering is not a sport that is open to everyone, and not everyone understands, especially when you come to a place where you're a flat country. And I told them, and I remember it was this concept of change. When you want to achieve something with someone, you never force it, right? You understand where this person comes from, you understand what you want to have, and it's a conversation, it's a journey, and it's this trust that you build between a person, because you never force your ideas and your thoughts onto a person and expect them to understand you if you don't understand them. So when I went there and I said, if you really want to do something, your parents will let you do it, but you need to show them that you really can. You need to let them trust you and trust your decision making, because mountaineering is not an easy sport, it's a dangerous sport. And she's like, yeah, but they always say no. And I said, no comes from love. When your parents tell you no, it's because they're afraid. They're afraid. Sure. And you need to understand why they're afraid. And she says, okay, I get it. And I go to climb. I don't know what mountain it was. I think it was either, I went to the South Pole and Vincent and came back, and she said, I'm gonna go climb Kilimanjaro. And my parents said, yes, and I'm going to do this alone. I'm like, really? She goes, yes, I'm going to do this. And I go, again, I climb, I come back, and she tells me, I did it. I climbed Kilimanjaro. Nice. So for me, seeing a person being able to achieve it and go through the journey really, really inspires me and motivates me to push further.
Sure. Eu queria perguntar para ela se tem alguma coisa na listinha que ela...
Eu ia falar isso.
Que ela ainda não completou e ela lembra.
Ah, yes. There's a lot. There's a lot of free space to add more to the list.
Sure.
But no, a lot of the dreams that I had as a child, I've achieved it. So nice. Little Asma is happy. But there's a lot more that I want to do and a lot more that I want to achieve. And it's just taking it one step at a time.
Você inspira muitas mulheres, muitas crianças e até a gente. Mas eu queria saber o que te inspira.
Thank you for that. Honestly, it's moments in life that inspire me, seeing people break through their boundaries, seeing people achieve things. I remember looking at Her Highness Sheikh Hamoza and what she's done for our country, seeing my mom and how my mom was able to break through boundaries for us and for us to have the best education we can have and really put us on the right path. Seeing my little niece come and tell me, you know, Asma, let me show you how strong I am, and I'm strong as you. And she gets on the monkey bars and she starts climbing the monkey bars. So my cousin Mo always says everybody has their own Everest, and it's either big or small. But it's always inspiring for me to see people put a dream and then make it happen, and to see their journey through them, be it the athletes, be it people who push through themselves to be able to achieve something that sometimes people think is very small, but once you do it, it really makes a big difference. So it's many things that really give me the inspiration to really push, but it's also people, and knowing that if I put myself through this and if I'm able to achieve that goal, a lot of other girls, a lot of other boys will be able to do the same, and just showing them that it is possible for a person like me to go and climb Everest, that you guys can also achieve your dreams as well.
Maybe one day.
Okay.
Let's climb the Everest.
Come with me.
When are you going?
So I'm gonna go again in February. So I'm gonna go climb.
Too close.
I have a full year of climbs, so just plan your time and you're more than welcome to join.
I'm gonna go. Vamos aí dia?
Bora treinar.
Precisa. Você fala muito de esporte, enfim, você falou que queria ser atleta e não foi, mas você consegue mudar talvez a sociedade, enfim, os padrões das pessoas através do esporte pelo lado de trás, que é um pouco o que a gente consegue fazer com o Passa Bola. Queria saber como você acredita que o esporte pode realmente transformar a vida de meninas e também de meninos, obviamente.
I think sport is a very, very powerful tool to change people's lives. It's from a physical and mental perspective, so from one person to another, seeing a person push through their strength, push through their limits, being able to do beat that push-up that they never thought, that deadlift that they never thought they can do, or that one more step to climb a mountain. But also it's a very huge platform, be it to change the societies, to change infrastructure, to bring people together. Sport is really, you would say it's an international language, right? Be it football, people understand it when they're able to move together and play together as a team. And you always know that with major team sports, you have to work together to score that final goal or to win that match. And there's no limits to it. You could always push, and the more you put, the more dedication, the more discipline, you're able to achieve more. For me, I personally suffer from panic attacks, and through climbing, through sport themselves, I remember in my training, I was, and Mariana see me train, but through my training, there was one time where I was pushing really, really, really hard with my mask on and everything on, and I start to feel the panic attack coming. And I would look at my coach, like look him in the eye, and he's seeing the panic attack come, and he goes, continue. And I looked at him again and I said, I'm having a panic. He's like, continue. And we push through the session, we complete the session, and I'm getting these little,
step by step,
this little feeling of the panic attack coming and going away. And as I finished, he told me, you got your panic attack, didn't you? I said, yes. He says, but you completed your session. I said, yes, I did. He's like, now you know that if you get that on the mountain again, you complete your climb. Do you understand me? And I said, yes, I do. And I got on, and I remember I was climbing Kanchenjunga at that time. So after that session, so this season, I climbed Kanchenjunga twice. So I reached the summit the first time, but we were the rope fixing team, and the rope fixing team are the team that actually puts the rope up to the summit. We reached the top of the mountain, but it was not the summit. It was not the true summit. The summit was probably 4 hours away, and we had to come back down. And I started to get I sprained my ribs because of a very difficult cough that I got from Everest. So I was climbing Everest, went down and climbed back, and it was just going up and down. And I was getting on top of I was reaching to camp 4 at Kanchenjunga and barely breathing because of how much pain I had. And I see the camp right in front of me, and I started to get the panic attack. And I was telling myself, it's okay, you've been through it, you pushed through yourself last time, you can do this again, just, focus. And in my head, I was telling myself, I'll never reach, it's very far away, and it was only 20 meters. And I was telling myself, it's okay, you can push yourself, just keep on going, you've done this before. And through that, I realized that I was able to climb through my panic attacks, and really, it happens, but physically and mentally, I was able to overcome them through. So for me, on a personal level, it made a huge difference in my life. But I know that all around the world, be it in Doha, from infrastructure to society, sport really made a huge difference.
Demais, né? Really nice.
Eu tenho uma pergunta de Copa já, mas eu queria saber qual foi a primeira coisa que veio na sua cabeça assim que você terminou de escalar o Everest.
When I reached the summit.
Oh my God, I have to go down.
Everest has a very personal, I climbed it twice because the first time I went up into Everest, we had to turn around due to COVID, not because of myself, but there was COVID within the team, and we all had to make that decision to come back down. And straight away, as any athlete or any person coming down and not reaching the summit, it becomes a personal thing where you think you failed. And it made me feel very, very weak. But I remember there was a turning point where I decided, you know what, I'm going to come back to Everest, and I'm not going to climb it, but I'm going to climb it strong. I want to not run up that mountain, but really be able to push myself and carry myself, my very, very strong, and really reach the summit. And we were climbing, and I remember my mask. So the second time we reached there, I was on the Hillary step, and I had the mask on, and my regulator got ruined. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Yeah.
So 3 times as I was climbing, my regulator would explode, and I'd be like, okay, we put the second one, we'll go again, and it would explode again. And in my head, I'm like, is this another sign that I'm not going to reach the summit? This is not okay, because when your regulator explodes, you're out of oxygen. And I would stand there, calm myself down until we get the regulator fixed and put it back on. And then we were climbing, and I reached to a point, I remember, just close to the summit, seeing the sunrise, and I'll show you the photo. I started to break down under my mask, and I realized that in that moment, I was told to turn around. And in that moment, I was told that we cannot climb the summit. And in that day, I flew home. And because I've tried when we came down last time to actually go again. And I just remembered that it took me an exact year on the same date for me to be on the summit of Everest. And not just to be there because I was there, but to really work hard, to really push myself, to make the time. People think that, being who I am, from where I'm from, it's easy, but it's never easy. We always judge a book by its cover, but that's not the truth. Everyone has their own Everest. Everyone has their fears and their worries, and the effort and time that they had to put. So I have a full-time job, not one, maybe 2 or 3. And I had to manage my team. I had to manage my training because I didn't want to just climb. I wanted to climb strong. And I saw it all come together at that moment. And I remember breaking down. And both my guide would come to me, he's like, are you okay? Is your regulator still there? I'm like, yes, my regulator is fine. Because they saw me like stop for a second, and it was so beautiful. And then after that, yes, coming down. Because you reach the summit, but it's not just the summit. You have to come back down.
Yes.
You have to.
Falam que é mais difícil. Everybody said it's more difficult to come down there.
Because you climbed for 8-9 hours. Now you have to turn around and do the same.
Essa mulher é f***.
Ela é.
Eu ficaria aqui conversando o resto da minha vida com ela.
Vamos falar pro Brasil? O que a Copa do Mundo representa pra você, no Qatar, representa pra você como mulher? E qual você acha que é o impacto que fica depois da Copa? Com a mistura de culturas, com tantas mulheres dentro do estádio. Eu queria entender a sua visão sobre a Copa aqui, pela primeira vez na região.
So the World Cup has, to be honest, for me, it's a dream come true. We've all been a part of this journey. Everyone, be it the people within sport or people outside sport. And it's a dream come true. Again, as I reach the summit, it's all about reaching to the summit and coming down, but really putting that effort. And Qatar really put that effort to have us all prepared from a societal level, from an infrastructure level. So it is a dream come true. And yes, there's a huge impact, and we've been seeing this impact on a day-to-day basis. Qatar has been a multinational country anyways. We've had over 80 nationalities living in the country even before the World Cup. But at least now with the World Cup, people are able to see how beautiful this country is, how welcoming it is, and hopefully to get more people to come and experience our culture, but also us experiencing other people's culture and having fun with other people when they actually come to Doha. And this is something that we've seen here. The unity, the friendship, the understanding, the respect that we all have, that's the truth of sport. That's the language that we all speak. And I was so happy to see it happen in Doha.
Você conquistou muitas coisas já, mas qual é o próximo passo? O grande objetivo para sua vida nos próximos anos?
That's a hard question. So usually people ask you, what's your 5-year plan? I don't have a 5-year plan anymore. I've realized the life changes every day, and your hopes and dreams change every day. You do set for something, you do set for a goal, and you start working hard towards a goal. And once you achieve that, you change as a person, and your mind changes, your brain changes, what you want to achieve, and your priority, all of that changes. Right now, all I see is I want to achieve my 14 peaks, so the 14 highest peaks in the world, and the Grand Slam. I say I'm more than halfway through, because I've got one more summit for the Grand Slam, and I've got 8 more for the 14 peaks, which I'm hopefully going to be achieving by next year. And then from then on, I don't know what the world entails, but I'm always open to new ideas, and hopefully be able to achieve them and set new goals for myself.
Essa mulher, ela é perfeita.
Sim.
I said you are perfect.
Sim.
Sério, pra gente é uma honra mesmo poder estar conversando com você, poder saber um pouco mais da sua história. Eu ficaria horas aqui só sabendo. O pessoal tentando saber um pouco mais, né? Porque pra gente é muito importante e valiosa essa troca, então eu espero que vocês também tenham gostado aí no canal.
Sim, a gente sempre vai atrás de mulheres que inspirem a gente, que sejam exemplos para vocês que estão em casa, mulheres, meninas, para vocês saberem que sempre dá para ir atrás do que você acredita,
Sim.
né? Porque tem mulheres pelo mundo inteiro,
Exatamente.
em diferentes culturas, que fazem a diferença, como é o caso aqui hoje, certo? É isso.
Thank you, Asma.
Thank
you very
Thank you
much.
so
Was a
much.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Agora ela podia fazer o Fala Bebê em português.
Fala, bebê.
Now you gotta do in Portuguese with us.
Okay.
It's like 1, 2, 3 e...
Fala, bebê! A gente fez Fala, bebê com a princesa!
Eu tô zerando a minha vida, eu não sei nem o que esperar, mas... Thank you.
Thank you so much.